Have you ever thought about what you'd be doing the day the dead rise? Well, V Hunter might answer that question for you, so it's probably a good idea to like and subscribe this video and watch right till the end to find out. V Hunter Puzzler DX is a turn-based puzzler game, where the main aim of the game is to destroy all the enemies on screen and then get to the exit. Each creature has a different movement cycle, and at the end of each cycle then they can attack. So it's then up to you to move around the screen and obviously avoid the attacks. But bear in mind, in order for you to attack, you have to get really close to them, which means timing your attacks so that they're not attacking at the same time. Sounds pretty easy really, doesn't it? And I'm pretty sure if it was only the static rats that you start with at the beginning of the game, it probably would be quite easy. As you progress, the enemies get rather more tougher. Some enemies move around, some shoot projectiles, and there are other ones that are still, but if you get in their directional line of sight, they will attack from the other side of the room. The game, as I said, starts off rather simple with some rats, and then some skeletons, and this ramps up to goblins, vampires and knights. Some of these enemies with multiple health points, and as I mentioned, some with ranged attacks. Although luckily enough for you, it's not just all about hitting the enemy and running away. There are some helpful items that you can add to your itinerary, such as dynamite, holy water, and even a health up. And this is particularly healthy as every time you kill an enemy, it kind of like drops some stuff on the floor, and if you walk onto it, you lose a life. And when you've got enemies surrounding holy water that you need to kill a vampire, these extra lives do come in handy. And the other thing that would be very handy is if you hit that like and subscribe button, help me out with the channel, that would be much appreciated. Thank you very much. V Hunter is set in different levels, and every time you go through all the levels you end up with like a type of ender level boss that you have to then defeat to move on to the next biome. Most of these different biomes, as you would imagine, all look kind of like the same but with different coloured backgrounds, although the different enemies that you get when you go onto these different biomes do keep the game feeling that little bit more fresher. There is 2 levels of difficulties, where one level you can undo your last move over and over again, and the other level it's all timed, obviously giving you a little bit more of a challenge there. There are different skins that you can unlock as you progress through the game, and quite a few different stats that you can look at, as well as going back and replaying levels. Graphically, it's got that old school pixel art type effect, and honestly, it actually looks pretty decent. Music wise, I ended up turning it down because it just irritated the hell out of me. The sounds of the actual game weren't too bad, and pretty well as you expected from a game like this. There are 60 different levels within 5 different biome type areas, and the one thing I really did appreciate about this game is the fact that the devs didn't overprice the shit out of it. As at £2 $2.99, I feel they've nailed the price pretty well, and I'm definitely taking that into consideration for scoring the game. And if you haven't considered it yet, please go ahead and hit them like and subscribe buttons. The score! V Hunter feels like a little bit more than just a basic turn-based puzzler. There's plenty to do within most of the levels, and you can play it in bite-sized chunks, which means that you can come and go whenever you want. And for the minuscule price that they're asking for this game, I would definitely recommend it for those that are into this sort of puzzler. So for me, I think V Hunter Puzzler DX deserves a good 8 out of 10.